Are you a very weird sounding fart?
From someone who's just very...
Are you a jet?
Very... Someone who's just got a tight asshole, who's just anal retentive, just like, I'm not enjoying anything in my life ever. Excuse me. That's the leftover from the 3-bean salad I had earlier, and I didn't enjoy it. No, I'm... One more time.
I don't know.
I'm a bottle rocket.
Oh, all right.
I guess that would be more... But either way, I'm a firecracker.
Okay. Yeah, you are. You are a firecracker. That firecracker right there is Mr. Sean Patton.
Light me up, and I will explode.
Yep. And the bad guesser right here is Caitlin Cook.
That's your name.
Bad guesser.
And here we are again, as we find ourselves every week here.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, though?
We're doing 5 Words, the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what it is?
It is a podcast where we have a guest. One guest on, usually a friend of ours, usually from the comedy world, but definitely from the performer world. Mm-hmm. There you go. And what you heard that in the background was just a mouse creaking in the wall of the 5 Word Studios.
Another firecracker.
There it was.
Yeah.
But so we have a guest on. They give us 5 random words from a story of theirs. Based on those 5 words, Caitlin and I take turns trying to guess what their story is.
Yep.
We nail the shit out of it.
Yep.
Then they
time.
tell us the real story, which is oftentimes the exact same one
It's very
we
redundant.
both just guessed.
Yeah, because we always nail it.
And if you can't tell that I'm being sarcastic, I'll start speaking like this. This is my sarcasm voice. Because we never actually nail the stories and usually get some pretty good stories out of our guests.
Yeah.
Great ones even. And this one is one of my favorites fucking in a long time. It's
pretty crazy
and
story.
And we get great guests with great stories.
We do.
And this story is one of my favorites.
This episode's a little shorter because we did it with a fellow comedian that we were about to do a show with. So
Yeah, we
had
did
like
it.
a
We did
cutoff
it.
time.
We did it out. We did an outdoor show in Denver, Colorado, socially distanced, all that jazz.
Yeah.
We were pressed for time. We were leaving the next day. He's like, "Fuck it, let's do it." So it's one of our shorter episodes, but fuck is it fun.
it.
And
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite comedians on the planet, Sam Tallent.
Sam Tallent.
His last name is not ironic. The motherfucker's talented.
Very true. So talented that there are 2 L's in his last name.
Exactly. Talent. So you could really talent. Let it roll off your tongue. He's a fantastic comedian.
And a great writer, too. We talk about his new book called Running the Light.
He's got a book coming
we
out.
highly recommend.
Well, no, his book's out already. I've already read it. It's
The audiobook's coming out.
The audiobook is coming out. We talk about that as well. We talk about that as well. We love you, Mark Norman. But we talk about his book. I can't. It's called Running the Light. It is a novel. It's a novel about a comedian and a journey that a road comedian goes through, and it is brilliant. And it will be made into a movie one day. Mm-hmm. So read it now because they always fuck the movies up. But read his book, order it. You can get it on Amazon, but you can also get it at samtallent.com. And he gets more money, and Jeff Bezos gets less. So samtallent.com, get his book, Running the Light. Also, check out his many albums. He's going to be on the upcoming season of This Joker, along with Shane Torres, myself, and a bunch of other, Rosebud Baker, a bunch, Jackie Fabulous, Clayton English, some fantastic, like David Bory. There's so many great people coming out on that show. But check him out here now.
Yeah. Enjoy the episode. Do we have any shows coming up we want to plug?
Now, this is a couple weeks from now, but on the 30th of October, All Hallows Eve.
Oh, yeah.
We will be doing a show in Lafayette, Louisiana. Follow me on my Instagram,
or me.
MrSeanPatton.com. But yeah, we'll be posting about it. Or Caitlin, at Mr. Sean Patton.
Yeah.
Now, what's your...
At the Caitlin Cook.
There you go. And then on Election Day Eve, November 2nd, in New Orleans, Louisiana, we'll be doing a show at the Broad Theater outside. Again, follow me on the socials. I'll be posting the ticket link soon.
Sweet.
Both shows are outdoors, socially distanced. We do it safe so we can fucking laugh louder and get through this shit together.
Yep.
And be on to the next phase of society where we don't have to hide from each other anymore.
Very true.
Do it. And as the airplane flies overhead here in Colorado,
It's a really
Denver,
big guy.
Colorado.
Yeah.
a blue sky decorated with candy clouds of cotton candy. Here in Denver, we do the outdoor Denver episode. I just want to sound like a real announcer, and I can't do it. I can't hold it together.
No, you
Coming to you live from beautiful Mile High City, the Queen
you.
City of
Let
the
the guests
Plains.
take over.
We're here behind Ratio Beer Works, known for its Pilsners, its IPAs, and its delicious, full-bodied stouts. I'm joined, of course, by Sean Patton and his faithful cohort, Caitlin Cook.
I think you just somehow won the podcast from us.
Did you steal our podcast?
No, not stole. Won. There was a competition, and you just won it. That is our wonderful, talented, beautiful. If imaginary friends were real,
Yeah.
this is who you'd want as your imaginary friend. Sam Tallent.
Thank you.
Ladies
I
and
like being
gentlemen.
introduced as like a creature from folklore.
Yeah,
That's good.
Well, sometimes just a guy or a comic isn't enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into this eventually, but like you're one of the few comedians I know to have written a novel. And by few comedians I know, I mean only comedians.
It's me
I know.
and Bill Maher.
Yeah, exactly. and
And I use the N-word more in mine than Bill Maher did on his show.
but like most comedians when they write a book, it's usually like a book of
Like an autobiography.
comedy, or it's like
yeah.
or it's just like random jokes that didn't make it into an hour.
Yeah, or like some topic that they want to expand more on, but it's not like a story.
A novel,
A novel.
a journey.
Yeah, I'm very excited to read it. Sean I've never heard him rave about a book more, to be honest.
Man.
I'm actually, that's actually one. Well, it's one of those like, it's that situation where when you realize that there's something special about a person you know personally.
Yeah.
And like, cause
I'm glad it was the book that took it, not my act.
it was. I mean, look, your stand up has always you're hands down one of the best comedians I've ever seen, and also,
Thanks, man.
and
Except for that fateful night in Las Vegas.
Wait,
Remember?
I don't know the story. What happened?
that was.
So
Yeah, let's get into this. This was fun.
Yeah.
We filmed for a show I'm sure that 12 people will see called This Joka, which is coming out on Quibi.
Yep.
Which is CISO 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No, it's I would see so 1.5. Let's not give it a full.
It's somehow
digit.
the prequel and the sequel. But yeah, I didn't have a set that I liked when they filmed me, and I remember being at the urinal next to you.
Yeah.
And you were like, "It went great," and then I just realized you were in the bathroom the entire time.
You asshole.
I was listening to it.
Yeah, no.
No.
Sean's always been incredibly sweet to me, and I'm grateful. But that one was rough, man.
Well, that was no. Let's and like specifically, you kind of got. So it was 3 shows.
Yeah.
And every show.
Wait, we should also mention that it was with Mr. William Smith.
Dr.
Yeah.
Wilson. No, Wilford Smith.
Big Willie.
Oh, it is Wilford, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
His name was Brimley.
Brimley.
Emily.
Yeah, Will Smith. You know him from such films as Concussion and
Happiness? No, what is it?
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 6 Degrees of Separation. I'm just trying to think of all the movies no one has seen, but of the dozens. But so he produced a show that's going to come out on Quibi called This Joka, where it's
Great name.
Great name with an A, Joka. 17 comedians, everyone all really good, and we did 3 shows at a fucking at a Top Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah, so this is just a fucking empty abyss of culture right here.
Yeah. And it was like, hell yeah, exactly. That is the proper response to hearing about a comedy show at a Top Golf.
Yeah.
Well, it was also like Vegas has 5 comedy clubs. Why not do it at one of those?
Including the Comedy Cellar.
Including the comedies.
Yeah,
But no.
Yeah, they're like, nope, we're going to do it at Top Golf.
because they were sponsored. They bought in to help produce
Speaking
it.
of sponsors.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
Ratio
go.
Beer Works.
Oh, Ratio Beer Works sponsoring this episode
29th
73.
and Larimer, right here in the Rhino Arts District.
There you go. Rhino, everyone knows I believe it's an acronym for.
River North.
Oh, okay, never mind.
This used to be called 5 Points, and then developers were like, well, people think Mexicans and black people lived in 5 Points, so now it's River North.
Still Mexicans and black people, but
Not anymore. No.
No, never
Yeah.
mind.
All these very woke progressives here scared them out.
Yes. Wait, Sean, what would an acronym for Rhino be?
For Rhino?
Yeah.
Rhetorical hibernation institution near oblivion.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Except it's spelled R-I-N-O because it's
Yeah.
River North.
I
But
threw-
still,
I threw-
no.
Yes.
I threw an H in there. I went with the classic.
Yep.
But we did the show. We split it into 3 shows, and Sam hosted the second one, which I disagreed with because I thought you did a set on the other one though.
Yeah.
But every host, Will Smith, brought them out.
Yeah.
Came out and was like, everyone, and everyone of course like, oh, that's really him.
Literally shit each other's pants.
Yeah.
It was a
Never shot
frenzy.
anybody else's pants.
But for some reason,
I would if I saw Will Smith.
yeah, Will doesn't bring Sam up. They're
No.
just like, go up, and he's like, well, what about my Will Smith intro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
so upsetting.
Like the one bit of help I have.
Was Will just shitting his own pants in the bathroom?
I'm
Or
sure he
in
was
the
shitting a couple
bathroom?
people's pants. He's Will Smith. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
play by the rules.
And you had, but then I remember you had to like start hosting, and then he came out.
Yeah, thank God.
But it was a thing where it was like 10 minutes, or like you had 10 minutes, and like 5 minutes in, he finally like Will Smith
Yeah.
appeared on stage.
Yeah. And he clung to me like a baby koala.
He in a way that no one would be comfortable with in this era.
I didn't think he was going to look us in the eye or touch us.
He looked you
But
through
he
us. He looked
couldn't
into
have been
our
more
souls.
generous.
Yeah.
He was grinding on people. He played my tits like a bongo.
He did. Yeah.
I dumped him out
yeah.
and he was slapping them.
Yeah. He would do the thing where
Literally, that happened.
if like twice, there were 2 times where we had like a hug, like an embrace, and I both times maybe just squeezed a little too hard, and you know what he did? Squeezed back
Yeah.
harder.
He leaned
like,
into it.
held it, and yeah, like
cool.
it's like an Adonis. Like he wasn't like you couldn't tell how old he was. He was either.
He had no odor. Did you notice that?
I did.
There was no discernible human smell nor perfume to him.
I was just spit out like,
Yeah.
Me and David Bory kept talking about it like that. Did you smell him? No.
There's nothing to smell.
No. He just smells like a cardigan that costs like $17,000.
Yeah. And like, what does that smell like? Smells like Will Smith.
Yeah. Me and David tried to figure out what kind of shoes he was wearing, and we couldn't find him online. It was
Yeah.
because Nike made him one pair of shoes.
What are those? When he wears them with no socks, what do they smell like? Nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
What does Will smell? I like that he just smells like a paradox.
yeah.
But like he was, yeah, you can't. It was. I've met celebrities that are way further down the food chain and are big assholes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like arguably the most famous man on earth.
Did
And-
all ever meet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just very
Yeah,
friendly.
Like everybody knows who Will
Liked
Smith
comedy
is.
a lot, like suspiciously a lot.
He was like, this is one thing I can't do. He's like, I'm the best at everything, as proven by my career, but I
Yeah.
can't do stand-up.
Yeah.
You know,
He
it's-
was nervous when he came up to introduce the show, finally, after
Yeah.
I was, guessing people's birthdays. Just trying to survive up there.
That's some good crowd work.
Yeah.
June 11th.
August?
That's what
April?
you. That,
All
I
right.
think that's what you were actually doing. You're like February 22nd.
No, it wasn't going that bad. Thank God. But yeah, he came up there and he was like clinging to me because he's nervous.
Yeah.
He's nervous to do stand-up.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Despite being a household name
I
in
know.
Bosnia and Bangladesh.
Yeah, it's what's fucking funny is his like personal assistant is his brother, who I think is only maybe a year or 2 older than him, but looks like Will Smith if he weren't famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like oh, that's what the human version of you looks like, the one that doesn't have like a cryogenic chamber.
He was
Yeah.
the prototype of the Will Smith factory.
Yeah.
And then they finally worked out the kinks with Will Smith.
Yep.
It must be weird to be a sibling of a celebrity and like, especially an older sibling.
Have you ever seen The Bodyguard, the Whitney
No.
Houston film?
No.
Yeah, it is. Okay? Watch it. You end up hiring someone to murder your sister.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right. I will watch it. That
Yeah.
sounds like an interesting plot line.
It's on Quibi.
Ah,
You can watch the
great.
entire
Yeah.
movie in
not gonna
45
get that app.
episodes.
Yeah. Or they just edit down it into all the good parts, which is about 6.5 minutes, one episode. They should they should do the Quibi one episode versions of like popular films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the Quibi version, the Godfather in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's my daughter's birthday. And there's a horse head.
Yeah, there it is.
At the end. Yeah.
My daughter's birthday.
Isn't there's
Horse
like
head.
a YouTube channel that's like 5-second films, and they just do that in 5 seconds.
Well,
It's pretty great.
That's
So-
weird that they did that after we just copyrighted it for
Yeah.
Quibi.
That's intellectual property.
That's
Yeah.
insane that
Well,
they stole
go
it
sue them.
before this episode came out.
Go sue them.
But whatever. What is not able to be digested in 8 minutes is a book called Running the Light.
Hey,
there we go.
nice.
Bam.
Oh,
That was.
good.
Saw that. I studied earlier and brought it back
That's why
in.
you're the
Good
king,
transition.
Sean.
I try, and just like every king, I'm going to get assassinated. Right? The kings all get assassinated now.
No, they die of
Shit.
gout.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
take that instead.
Yeah, that's their disease.
I
They
assassinate myself.
other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My diet assassinates me.
Do you have gout?
No. It's actually, I should have gout.
Me too.
Yeah.
My wife, every time I go to the doctor, she's like, "And the gout?" I'm like, no, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Blown
Yeah.
away.
A friend of ours, a fellow raconteur who also enjoys to imbibe, Kyle Kinane.
Kyle
Who's also
Kinane.
been
Yeah.
on this podcast.
Who's also been on this podcast. When he asked me once, he's like, "How do you deal with the gout?" And I'm like, "I don't have it," and he was angry. He was like pissed off at me. Like he basically everything short of being like, "You're fucking 50 pounds heavier, you eat way shittier, and you don't." I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I can't get out of bed some days." I'm like, I'm sorry.
My best friend Nathan Lung got gout, and he hit up Kinane. And then somehow, like, long story short, he ended up featuring for him in Portland. He was like, having gout's the best thing that's ever happened in my career. I'll never get into helium.
Thank God. Because all gout is just basically your joints going on strike, right?
It's uric acid buildup in your joints. And
Which-
it starts
yeah.
lower in your body or in your hands and your extremities.
Damn, that sounds awful.
Because I had about 2 years of plantar fasciitis. What's up, bro?
Hey.
I had
Oh, good.
about
Adam's here.
Adam Caton Hounds
Caton
rolled in. I had about
On a
2 years
bicycle.
of plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Which I was worried was going to turn into more.
Yeah.
But then it just went away.
Really? You didn't
It
do
just
anything?
stopped. No. I did the ball under the feet every now and again, but it tickled. Seriously, it tickled.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stopped doing it. I was like, I'll just deal with it. It just means every morning for 20 minutes, I'm walking like I'm walking on hot coals all the time.
You walk like a ballerina.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it would stop, and then I was fine. And then in one day, it just didn't hurt anymore. And now I have a podcast. You know what I mean? And that's how it happens.
It's less of a ballerina and more like a toddler
Yeah.
wandering around, not
But, like-
bending his knees.
But that's the thing about your book. Seriously, I told you this before. I said I would say it again. I had 4 separate emotional outburst moments.
Yeah.
It's because it's a story about a comedian. But that's the thing. It's not you. Because I remember when I first heard about your book. I think when you told me about it and I was shit faced and you were saying it was about a comedian, I figured it was going to be some sort of like funny autobiography about you.
Yeah, no,
Because you've
man.
been around.
Yeah.
But not long enough to have an autobiography yet.
I got some stripes on my trunk.
But you got some stripes.
Yeah.
You're a lieutenant.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it's about the character, Billy Ray Schaefer, great
Yeah.
fucking name.
Thanks, man.
And it's such an amazing. I think I hit you up and I think I texted you and was like, Dean Norris should play this guy in the movie.
did, yeah.
Yeah. And who did you say? You
I think I always like John C. Reilly.
but
Oh,
no,
yeah.
the other suggestion was better. Fuck.
Brant Tobler. No.
Look it up.
No, I want to remember it. And also, my phone we're using to film right now,
Oh,
so I can't
yeah,
look it up. But we're not in the studio, as you can see in this episode. we
No,
are
we're at
behind
Ratio Beer Works.
where we're about to do a show
We're
outdoors.
surrounded by kegs and a barbed wire fence.
Yeah, it's going great.
Feels like we're like in the fucking Foot Clan lair.
I mean, this actually feels like what podcast will become when all free speech gets outlawed, because it's literally hurtful.
I heard so much.
But no, it's like the book. It's such a fucking fantastic journey, and like that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's
Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam.
Okay.
I don't know who that
But
is.
he's not fat enough.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, Dean Norris. Just throwing that out there
Can
I
again.
didn't know who that
Something real
was
quick?
until.
Doop, there you go.
There you go. But it's such a fucking great journey. It has a great ending, and you, my friend, can fucking sling some prose.
Thanks, man.
You can like there were moments where I seriously you saw this
Yeah.
at a hotel room in Asheville where I had to like stop reading and go, fuck, that's good. And like do you mind if I one line?
No, of course.
This won't ruin the book, but it's a fantastic line. But you talked about him waking up like hungover and worse than hungover, but I'm not going to give it away. But the line was, it was so bright. The sun was shining so bright, he took it personally. I thought that was such a fucking great line.
Yeah, man.
Because I've definitely been in that position where you're like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Giant star, we've been orbiting for millions of years. Why today?
How dare you bless us with life-giving light? Yeah.
But not today. My fucking head hurts. But it's such a, how long did that take? Like, was it just, because I could tell a lot of those stories come from experience.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a show in that book, I did it. But then there's a lot of just like stories I've heard, like amalgamations of
Right.
different terrible pieces of trash on the road. And it's great because every comic will hit me up that reads it, and they're like, "This is Spud Bentley." I have like no idea who it is. Everyone has their own personal Billy Ray Schaefer.
Oh man, this is Shooter Flipsky. You're like,
exactly.
Shooter.
Or John Fox. Everyone's like, this is a John Fox story. And I'm like, well, I was never on Star Search, so I never worked with John Fox. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, it's such a fucking killer. So I just.
As you were saying, much better than Adam's book. Right?
No, I mean, some people. But no, like it's such a journey, man. It's like
man.
and it's like it reminds me of like, and this is fuck whatever. It reminds it has a very Vonnegut-esque, like, just the way you describe the simplest things is like beautiful and psychotic and funny and like thought provoking. Where you like got that like, hold on, I gotta stop and think about the way he just described. But I don't want to give anything away. How a cigarette tastes.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. It's just beautiful.
Have you done an audiobook?
No, but the audiobook is being read by like Bert Kreischer and Ari and Mark Norman, who apparently can't read. God bless him.
Surprise me.
Yeah, it was.
Well, there are some forms
And
of...
again, Mark, like everyone
Yeah.
did me a favor. No
Yeah.
one charged me. Like Stanhope's reading it. Bori, of course. Adam read a chapter. But yeah, Mark, man. You could like him trying to say ubiquitous was probably a 45-minute situation.
There are some forms of chlamydia that attack the eyeballs.
And I feel bad telling anyone that because he like took 5 hours out of his day to read a couple pages.
And it's like that's the blessing is he has this perfect like carnival barker voice. The tragedy is that he can't read at all.
No, man. Can you read? You guys went to the same schools.
Fantastic. I know, right? He went to way better schools than me.
I bet.
It's like having a massive cock, but you're impotent.
You should do that.
You know what I mean? Like, ah!
You should do that chapter, but Sean just his voice chimes in reading all the big words, so it's Norman, and then occasionally Sean being
But
like,
for Norman, the big
Ubiquitous.
words are like, glory.
Any word that's not, huh?
Exactly.
comedy.
If it's not, he nails that every time. If it's just that, over comedy,
yeah.
gays. You know? Two's gays.
We were in Hawaii together before COVID at this festival, and we were co-headlining. And he was like, "Yeah, we're all gonna go ride scooters tomorrow, and I'd invite you, but you're clearly too big and fat."
Jesus.
And I was like, "Well, yeah, no, you're right. I don't want to be on a scooter, man."
You know what I'll do? I guess I'll just sit here and read some book. I'll just read a novel to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Why would you do that?
First time he ever saw me perform, he goes, "Hey, I don't usually like musical comedy, but that was pretty good."
Yeah.
It's a very
All
high
right, thanks.
compliment.
That's a very high compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark. Yeah, that's fucking funny, man.
Well, thank you, Sean. As I've always said, who's funnier than Sean Patton? So
I mean, numerous people. But
Her
Mark,
name is in the book.
Yeah.
oh, you see, that's the thing. That was amazing, but also my 24th favorite thing about it.
Well, thanks.
Was
man.
that yeah? That was also like, look at that. Who's in this book along with Kevin O'Brien?
Well, I put
and
Kevin
Nathan
in the
Lund?
book and Lund in the book.
Yeah.
And, Kevin was furious that he was in the book because I called him, like, prematurely balding.
Yeah, you did.
He
Yeah.
was like, how dare you? Meanwhile, I called Lund fat with 7 different synonyms. I was like, he's corpulent, he's porcine. And Lund didn't give a shit.
we call these the Norman unreadable words.
Yeah, exactly.
Porcine? Yeah.
Porcine. Porcini.
Wait, how was he trying to say ubiquitous? Was it like ubiquitous?
Dude, yes. Literally, when he read that, he called his girlfriend in the room. Was like, "Hey, how do you say this word?" And she was like, "Ubiquitous," and he was like, "Oh, all right."
I want to like check on him when next time I see him. Like, hey man,
don't.
can
No one
can
reach
you-
out to him about this. I feel so bad.
Oh, I'm sure you dig it.
He's fine, yeah.
Thick-skinned.
It's like a giant favor. Yeah, brutal,
Oh,
man.
No, that's fucking hilarious, dude. I hope that this book, I I want to say I hope it gets made into a movie one day, but I also know like they fuck up great books all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I also kind of don't hope it gets made into a movie.
You know what they don't fuck up, though,
What?
is the check for the film rights.
That's
Oh,
true.
Yeah,
that's true.
why so
Yeah.
many.
How about
movies
you know what I
get
hope
made
happens to this book? It gets shelved after they buy the rights.
I hope it's on Quibi.
Yeah.
That way, no one will see it. So then it
Exactly.
won't matter.
All right. So wait. Speaking of stories, we should get to this. Yeah, we should. Sam,
Hey, but you can buy my book at samtallent.com.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Tallent.
we're gonna give a good plug up front too,
right,
like on a
perfect.
separate piece.
Okay.
What are your 5 words?
Let's give you these 5 words all at once, right?
Just
Yes.
in a row. Go for it.
Okay. So it's technically 6 words, but one of them is a restaurant name. So,
That's fine.
All right. So the first word is clown.
Clown. Okay.
The second word is claim jumper.
Ooh, yeah.
The third word is knife.
Love those.
The fourth word is mother.
We all have one.
That's right. And the fifth word is balloon.
So clown, claim jumper, knife, mother, balloon.
That's
You wanna
right.
See that? You want to go first?
You want me to go first? Or you want to go
I
first?
want you to go first.
So Sam, this story, I believe, knowing you, there was a time in your life where you had a real vendetta against clowns. Just not, and I know a lot of people think, well, Sam probably wanted to be a clown. No. Sam's a comedian, and you wanted to stomp out clowns.
I wanted to be a buffon.
Right. Before you were a comic, you were like, you know what I'm gonna do? Rid the world of clowns, so that they'll need comedy, because they're not getting it from these fucks. But you were gonna do it a smart way. You were going to frame one for committing insurance fraud, right? For jumping on a claim. Obviously, I don't know if you know that, but that's like a hip way of saying insurance fraud, right? So you see a clown show.
Clown show.
You go to a circus is what they're called.
One of those classic clown shows.
You go to a circus, you bring a knife in there, you smuggle it in, you quote unquote, you fake stab yourself, and you're like, this fucking clown did it, right? And then, and right then and there, the clown's mom is just like, Bubbles, did you stab this man? And Bubbles, he can't talk, he's a fucking clown. He was a mime clown. So he's just giving you like the, I don't know. And you, who has a heart, realizes like, Jesus Christ, I can't frame this guy. His fucking mom's right here. I can't frame this piece of shit even in front of his mom. So, last word.
Balloon.
So, you make it all up to him by, in his own language, blowing a balloon animal as a peace treaty, and you leave. That's
Wow.
a terrible story.
No, I actually think it's amazing, and I don't think I should do one.
No, you don't want to do one? So that was the story about the time that you tried to frame a clown for insurance fraud by stabbing yourself, fake
Like
stabbing
committing
yourself.
seppuku.
Right. Because clearly clowns have stabbing insurance.
Yeah.
And upon seeing the guy's mother, you felt so bad, you went, blew up some balloon animals, made one for him, and said, "Hey, man, my bad. No harm,
Okay.
no harm, no foul."
It's good.
Yeah? That's my version.
All right, here's mine.
Yeah.
Good.
So, a little known fact about Sam, but you used to work for the IRS undercover by being a clown at children's parties, and then you would
that is true.
corner the parents who were claim jumpers.
You read my Wikipedia.
I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I did. Anyway, this is the story of the last time that you did this kind of job before you dropped out and started doing comedy. Because here's what happened. You were performing for the kids, trying to locate the parent, and you go inside to use the restroom, and the mom has a knife to your throat. She
Jesus,
knows
this is crazy.
that you are trying to find her.
Okay.
And you're very afraid for your life. This has never really happened before. And you pop a balloon, and the shock of the sound makes her jump a little, and you skid her away. And you were so freaked out. You were like, I'm never going to do this again.
And this is where
That's
they
my
got
story.
the inspiration for the Jason Bourne series.
Yes.
It's like just using everyday items as weapons. Yeah. I also want to add an addendum that then
No.
the clown also pulled a balloon of cocaine out of his ass. and you guys ripped a couple toots.
Ripping toots.
Toots from the tutor.
Toot toots. What's the real story?
What's the actual story? Since we're clearly nowhere near it.
Does everyone say right now, well, you just nailed it?
Yes!
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't even need to tell the story anymore. Hell.
Seif didn't. Seif of Sounds, who's
Yeah, 'cause
back.
we're
Seif
fucking
was like,
artists, dog.
Seif was the only one who was like,
Yeah,
nah,
no
man, that's
shit.
not it at all.
Yeah, game respects game.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna punk myself in front of Sounds? Come on. So, okay, so it's my sister's 10th birthday,
Oh, yeah.
and we went to a restaurant called Claim Jumper, which I don't know if they have those
No.
where you're from.
No.
No. So it's like you have when you get there, and if you're a child, you have to get on a scale,
What?
and then they charge you
Per pound?
a certain amount. Instead of having like a kids menu, they charge you like I don't know. It's like an algorithm they
This
have.
seems very rude.
It was fucked up, dude. Because me and my sister were little porkers. All right, we were little Nathan Lunds, and so I hop on the scale, and they like ring a bell.
Real
you
quick,
know?
I just got to pause. Nathan Lund is a wonderful human being.
Hell yeah.
But just it does have a pudgy ring to it. The name.
Yeah, of course.
Nathan Lund.
Yeah, because the most famous Lund is a pancake mix. Swedish pancakes.
And once again, as you said earlier, game respects game. Nathan, just saying, from one pudger to another.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Like if you ever needed a stuntman, Lund could be your stuntman.
And vice versa.
No, dude, you're the star. let's not fuck around. So we get to Claim Jumper. We hop on the scale. It's embarrassing for everyone involved. Her friends are there.
Oh,
You know,
shit.
I'm like
That
3 years
sucks.
older than her, so it was a fucking hellish bloodbath of emotions.
Wow.
Yeah, they literally rung a bell when I got on
Why did your
'Cause-
parents take you there?
because it was my sister's favorite restaurant.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
yeah.
this happened she knew this going in.
Yeah,
Okay.
so for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They should have just called the place Baby Masochists. Like that's such a I love this.
Yeah.
I love the pain.
They should have called it Lumpy's Emotional Scar House. So after we get off, we sit down, and we weren't like impoverished, but my dad was a teacher, my mom was a state employee, so we didn't have a lot of money. So this was like a big deal for us. I think later on that night we went to Barnes and Noble, and they let us pick out a magazine. Like that was like
A magazine.
That's what we did. We go to Barnes and Noble and we would chill, and I would like read like Calvin and Hobbes, and my sister would read like
Field and Stream.
yeah, yeah, Guns and Ammo. My sister was trying to join the Rwandan army in the back of Soldier of Fortune. So yeah, dude. So we sit down, and there's a clown that comes over, and it's like a hired clown because it was a Saturday night. It was a hot night at Claim Jumper, and he's like, "I'm gonna make you balloon animals, right?" And so my mom's like, "Okay, cool." She's like assuming this is part of the meal, So the guy makes balloon hats for everyone. There's like 6 kids there, and then he says, "Okay," and he takes his clown hat off, and he holds it out, and he's like, "Okay, now it's time for gratuity." Like these balloons don't come for free. And my mom's like, "Well, can we put it on our check?" She's trying to dodge it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you can't afford balloon hats for your kids? Oh. Wow, where do you work, lady?"
Wow.
everyone in this
Wow. Yeah.
It was very brutal.
It's like part of the training. And if they can't afford it, shame, shame, shame.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how you get those dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Remind them in front of their kids how they're falling short here.
Right, and it's like,
No.
throw them a 5, Mom, and I'll move to the next table of fat kids. So like everyone's wrong. My mom, of course, at this time, this is before she got her BP meds, so she was,
Yeah.
she had like 7 Chardonnays in her, and she's a little
Yeah,
off kilter.
baby.
Oh, no.
Betsy Tallent can fucking hang, dog.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, so he keeps fucking razzing us, blah, blah, blah. You can't afford it. Oh, what's your husband do? Where's he work? Like the fart factory, Really, he's killing with the kids. He's crushing with everyone except for my mom and dad.
I like when you say that and someone else from the table goes, hey, I'm the foreman at the fart factory, and we make good money.
It's a union job.
I am tired of people assuming that we don't get paid. I make 6 figures before taxes.
And no, they don't pay me in queefs. So my mom fucking, after the clown said, I can't remember what he said exactly, but my mom grabbed her fucking steak knife and lunged at him.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, Betsy Tallent
Fucking
fucking got off her
respect,
ass to
dude.
stand up for her
Respect.
her checkbook, and she lunged at this clown, and my dad, like, like when you stop short at a red light,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
dad
yeah.
just reverse clotheslined her and put her down, and he took out a 20, and he was like, please walk away from the table to this clown. And then my mom goes up to the manager and gets the clown fired. She got this guy fired,
Fuck
relates
yeah,
the
dude.
entire story.
Wow.
The guy gets canned. We see him at the end of the meal walk out without his face paint on, but he still has the outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a real fucked up memory, dude.
Dude.
It was like, it haunts me. Me and my sister will still joke about it with my mom, and she's like, I've come a long way.
But Mom, we didn't want you to.
Yeah, Mom, you ruled.
We like Chardonnay drunk fucking stabby mom.
Yeah, like my mom who budgeted this for like months, you know?
Yeah. I like having a mother I know will shank a clown.
I mean, I don't know what she would have
That's
done,
so
but she
crazy.
got off of her seat with that knife in her hand, and my dad had to fucking, hit her with the O.J. Simpson
I love the idea of
on the field.
that's one day your mom's old and she's like, you said, children, let me show you something. And she takes
Irish?
Yeah. I came when I came over here from Galway. She like types in a code and the closet door opens and another one opens and just knives. Just like a fucking 40, just like why do you think that DUI disappeared, Samuel?
Then she takes one off the wall and whips it at the family Bible. Just right in the middle.
And then it opens up and there's another knife in there. Like, there's always been knives. How do you think I met your father?
Oh, and then afterward, of course, she yelled at my dad for being a pussy.
Yes!
Yeah, that was the best.
Betsy
She's like,
Tallent,
you won't
dude."
stand up for your family when a clown's making fun of your wife?
Dude,
Me and my sister like holding hands under the table. It was brutal.
Betsy Tallent is the shit.
Yeah, BT, man.
Fucking A, dude. Props to your mom.
She's retired.
From cutting.
Yeah. She poked a couple people on the inside.
Yeah.
She's left some slice marks.
Anything shorter than 4 inches won't kill you.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah,
That is, it's also like experiences like that. It clearly plant the seeds in the garden of creativity to write a book.
Oh yeah.
And
Also,
to be-
just
yeah.
seeing a clown with the outfit but no makeup on seems like a jarring.
Oh, it
memory.
was fucked up. Like his suspenders are still on. His giant shoes are in his hand, and he's wearing like Nike Monarchs,
Oh wow!
I'm wearing those right now.
No,
Chill out.
I was about to go. Did you just call out your own sponsorship?
Yeah,
dude. Nike Monarchs.
I do. Hey, Nike, send me a check.
Dude, that's wow. That is
Yeah.
fucking great.
And then you
Yeah.
also have to realize that clowns aren't paid in like candy.
no,
Like they like need money.
nose
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having that like realization at the time. Or like,
They're not paid in cocaine and opium suppositories.
yeah. Or like you're not paid in unicorn rides. All right,
Well, no, but that's fucking wow.
that was a fun story.
I want to find a claim jumpers now.
Yeah.
And
You
just-
can find
I
one
don't,
at
though.
I-25 and Hampton, I believe.
We're coming.
And
We're
they charge
coming for you.
more based on if you're weighted.
If you're a child.
Oh.
It's instead of having a kids menu, they have like a gradient of if
Oh,
you weigh
that's
X
dumb.
amount of pounds, you pay this much for your meal.
Don't
Because
like it.
I'd love to know the logic behind
Don't
that.
like
I'm
it,
pretty
don't
sure
wanna
I
go.
paid more for my like quesadilla that night than my dad did for his like shrimp and steak.
Because they assume he's like, well, you clearly like food more.
Yeah, exactly. You need to earn it.
you need this is good stuff. Sam, I fucking thank you a ton for coming on.
Yeah.
We're about to do a show
Yeah.
here at Ratio Beer Works in Denver. So if you're listening to this now and you have
Sorry.
access to time travel,
Yeah.
well,
Come to our show.
shoot back a day
Yeah.
in 2 days and come check us out live. It's going to be great, starting
Yeah.
in 5-10 minutes.
And also, if you do have a time machine, please come back and tell me not to take the Bucks -1 all right? Or the Packers -1 because I took the Packers earlier in the week and it was a real bloodbath.
Yeah, you took a fucking, I don't even call that a bath. You were like a water slide.
They took me in the back room and hosed me down and then sprayed me with delousing powder. That's what I took.
That's fucking well. I'm glad you survived it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
What? Wait.
And I like the idea of someone who has a time travel machine is like, should I kill Hitler? Should I stop the 2016 election? Or should I help
Should I?
Sam?
Yeah.
Should I go back and tell Einstein not to release the formula for nuclear? No, I'm gonna go see a fucking comedy.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
gotta keep Sam from losing
Yeah.
$200.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
let's help that dude out.
Yeah.
Wait, where can people online? You are.
You can find me at Sam Tallent
Yeah.
on Instagram. Twitter is kind of a nightmare. I don't really like Twitter too much.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, at Sam Tallent. And then I got Chubby Behemoth. It's my podcast with Nathan Lund.
Oh hell yeah!
And you can buy my book at samtalent.com.
Yeah.
Buy the man's book.
Yeah.
Which
It
is
is
called
fan fucking
Running the
tastic.
Light.
Running the light.
Or as Andy Main called it last night on stage twice, burning the light.
Right.
Which is, in fact, Giannis Pappas' special.
Yes.
So, hey, if you hear this and you want to accuse me and Giannis of hacking each other, they're different terms that every comedian knows. So.
I seriously thought he was referring to a Midnight Oil song. See, Sam, he's one of the fucking greatest. He's fucking hilarious and a
Thanks,
sweet,
man.
sweet, gentle giant of a man. Buy his book.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
We're out.
Of course. Goodbye.